Out upon the briny deep, where the wild and wet winds blow, there lived a cruel and evil man, the pirate, Dirty Joe. He sailed upon the scummiest craft that ever left the docks. He roamed the world and 7 seas in search of dirty socks. He wore a scratchy, scraggly beard. He had but one good eye, and with a tattered piece of sail his oily hair he'd tie. Hook for an arm. Ah, yes, that too. He found it very handy for picking in between his teeth to get out sticky candy. His one good eye surveyed the seas, searching for some ship, and when he'd spy a boat out there, he'd sneer and lick his lips. All hands on deck, he'd order. There's treasure to be had. He'd shake his one fist in the air, laugh like he were mad. They'd fire a cannon, cross the bow, board the other craft, make the crew take off their shoes. And with a horrid laugh, he'd tie the sailors all up tight and rob them of their socks. Then left the ship a-floundering to run up on the rocks. The socks he took from other ships, you'll be surprised to learn. He hung upon the rigging lines. They stretched from bow to stern. They flapped and fluttered in the breeze, 500 little flags. And the smell that those old socks gave off was enough to make you gag. From China to the Ivory Coast, Australia up to Spain, the pirate did his dirty work across the bounding main. You could always tell a boat Joe robbed by looking at the crew, for fear was deep within their eyes, and all their toes were blue. Till one day, as he sailed his ship somewhere near Mandalay, his lookout spied another boat beating across the bay. Ah, said Joe, we'll get that boat. We'll catch it, no by thunder. For sure as I am Dirty Joe, there's socks there we can plunder. The pirates cheered and set their sails to catch up with their prey. They sharpened up their swords and knives. The boat danced in the spray, but suddenly the cheering stopped. The wind, it gave a moan, for on the other boat there flew a flag of skull and bone. And from mast to mast, from bow to stern, flying everywhere, there flapped and snapped 500 pairs of pilfered underwear. Boxers big and boxers small, with stripes and polka dots. And tidy whities hung there too, like the ones your grandpa's got. And lined up on the other deck, armed with swords and knives, was a sight that made the men all shake and fear for their own lives. 100 pirate women waved their daggers and their swords, and a woman pirate captain yelled, "Girls, let's climb aboard!" "It's Stinky Annie," someone said, "and her band of smelly varmints. She captures every boat she can and takes their undergarments." "Then all is lost," another said. "We don't have a chance." "You can't be a pirate if you don't have underpants." "Yo, lily-livered lunks of lard," lashed out Dirty Joe. "What sort of pirates are you lads? That's what I want to know. We'll show them. We'll take their boat. We'll tie them up," he roared. "We'll take their socks and their sneakers too, and throw them overboard." The pirates there with Dirty Joe screamed and cheered and yelled. Someone blew a whistle, someone rang a bell, and as the boats drew closer still, the pirates cursed and muttered, while 1,000 pair of underwear and socks all flapped and fluttered. Finally, the two boats met. On the waves they rocked. "Get 'em now, boys," Joe cried out. "Take off all their socks." But even as the men attacked the women waiting there, Stinky Ann called to her crew, "Girls, get their underwear!" It was an awful battle, a loud and raucous fray. At first it seemed that Dirty Joe might win and have his way, but then Joe's first mate noticed that Stinky and his crew all are fighting barefoot. They got no socks or shoes. What's the point? Another said. Why make all this fuss if we can't get their dirty socks? What's in it for us? No, said Joe, don't give up now. But he spoke the words too late, and Stinky Annie and her crew quickly sealed their fate. Stinky Annie climbed aboard. She cornered Dirty Joe. She said, I want your boxers now, in case you didn't know. Dirty Joe looked up and said, Before you have your fun, your face looks quite familiar. You remind me of someone. Stinky Annie lowered her sword. They peered at one another. Wait, she said, I see you now. You're Joey, me little brother. That's right, said Joe. You're my sister Anne. You bounced me on your knee. Put down your sword. Give up this fight, pray. Don't do this to me. Stinky Annie gave a smile. A tear came to her eye. All her crew looked on surprised. They'd never seen her cry. Little Joey, how are you? She said. How have you been? I'm just fine, your sister Anne, Joe said, and gave a grin. Good, said Annie. That's just great. Her one eye shone and danced. Now, do just what I say, you squirt. I want your underpants. But Annie, you're my sister, Joe blubbered, and he whined. Can it, Joey? And he said, I haven't got the time. Just because I'm your sister doesn't mean I care. I'm a pirate, that's my job. I want the underwear. So Dirty Joe surrendered and did what his sister said. And when he did, it's safe to say, more than his face was red. Stinky Annie sailed away, and still she roams the seas with her brother's boxers high above, flapping in the breeze. Dirty Joe, he sailed home close to the Bay of Fundy. He's not a pirate anymore because he has no undies. That's the finish of this tale. It's stupid and it's done, but there's a lesson here I'd impart to everyone. If you've got an older sister, then I feel bad for you. For just as long as she's alive, she'll tell you what to do.